Good evening, my name is Cesar Ivana. I'm an Assistant Vice President for Bank of America Merchant Services, and this is my integration essay. The first question says, what's StrengthsFinder revealed as your greatest strength and what you personally believe to be the greatest strength as a leader? Well, my top 5 strengths were futuristic, ideation, positivity, self-assurance, and focus. I believe you have to have a mixture of all these strengths, but ultimately you have to have focus. You have to have the follow-through to be a great leader. How do you intend on building these strengths? Well, the futuristics, I can't dwell in the past, so I'm going to focus primarily on the future, and what's done is done. I can't go back and just go for it. Ideation, I'm always going to think about new ideas. I plan to get together with my peers once a week and discuss new ideas that we can implement throughout the week to help these branches secure their goals and have more customer friendly, more higher customer satisfaction. Positivity, I'm going to be upbeat. I listen to a lot of motivational speakers. I read a lot of motivational books. I'm going to start by doing a Motivational Monday email where I'm going to send that to my colleagues as kind of like an inspiration to set the tone throughout the week. Maybe a little positive message. Self-assurance. What I'm going to do is I'm never going to second guess myself. I'm going to go with my gut feeling and just go for it. And focus. I'm going to write things down. There's a saying that if you improve yourself 1% every day, you ultimately improve yourself 365% throughout the year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redirect my thinking and I'm going to focus on a daily task to improve myself. What concepts from this course do you find to be the most useful? Well, motivational concepts stuck out to me the most. One, because it's both external and internal. External, it can be your surroundings, your peers, what you read, what you focus on the exterior, and the interior can be you're just changing the way you are, just changing your train of thought, just changing some keywords that are going to make you different from the other. For example, you change your have into a must. So if you're saying I have to lose weight, you're going to change that and say I must lose weight. Therefore, that's going to go ahead and give you that motivation that you need to go ahead and do that goal. Second thing was the stages of group development, the 5 stages: the forming, the storming, the norming, the performing, and the adjourning. I really enjoyed learning about the different steps of this group because ultimately it's what sets you apart from a crowd or a bunch of people just coming up with ideas. So I really enjoyed that part, the stage of development of groups. Number 4 says, what method of motivation do you believe is to be the most effective? Well, to me, the goal-setting theory, I believe, is to be the most effective. You can do things, you can be all motivated and whatnot, but if you don't have an end result, a goal in mind, then you're ultimately going to be doing something to do it, and you're not going to be satisfied. Now, I do believe that when you give these goals, they have to be specific, and they have to be somewhat difficult. And what I mean is if you focus on a daily task, as I mentioned before, and you do things on a daily basis, you're going to improve yourself and ultimately you reach that goal. So that goal might be difficult, but it's going to be obtainable. And in the progress of that goal, you have to somewhat accept the feedback. And the feedback, like I said, can come from internal or external. But I believe that the most powerful feedback will be self-generated. Your internal feedback, what you believe, what your self-motivation will be to go ahead and reach that goal. I'm most compatible with the MBO theory of goal setting, and the reason for is that we use that in Bank of America. We've had this approach, and we've seen increments of higher performance and higher efficiency and higher customer satisfaction within the branches. We've placed some specific goals. We've participated. We made the employees participate in the decision making. And we give a time of period, and also we accepted that feedback and improved on that feedback to improve overall performance. Number 5 says, what concepts of team leadership do I believe will fit best in their approach and the result of the highest level of performance? Well, I believe that a charismatic leadership best fits my approach. I think that a charismatic person or a leader has that vision, has that end result, and which is one of my traits. I have that vision, that futuristic vision. I also think that they tend to take personal risk, which I do mostly, and they're sensitive to others, which I am. And also, it's the way that they act and the words that they choose, to convey their message can be specific. So they get it to the level of the person or the employees or the group that they're talking to, and the way that they use their actions and their words to convey that message is clear and concise, and make sure that it gets to their level, and they make sure that their message is 100% obtained and followed through with that message, and make sure that they're a people person. They're going to be likable, and when you're likable, ultimately you get that message across even more clear. Number 6 is, how do you overcome resistance to change in your organization? Well, in my organization right now, we're going through some major changes in goals, changes in job titles, even all around physical change of the structures of the branches in Bank of America. One thing though is that the major thing in change is communication. I think that is the key thing to change, is communication within the whole organization. I think that the communication has to be clear, has to be concise, and there has to be some type of logic behind the change. And when you present all those in a positively manner, in a clear and concise manner, you're gonna get less hassle for that change. Also, one of the best advices that I got from my previous employer was, when you're doing change, make sure that you include the whole organization, so you can have feedback from the whole organization regarding that change. Therefore, that change is going to be more acceptable, and it's going to come easier. And once again, you're going to hold your employees accountable for that change, because they have some type of input in that change, and therefore you're going to gain their commitment and their trust. I want to thank you again, and this is Cesar Arana, CMBA program. Thank you.